Today on the Music Cook, we got Casey Mattson. We're joined with from all the way from Los Angeles, and today we're just going to be talking about the world of Casey Mattson and all the craziness that goes on. So thanks so much for coming in on this, Casey.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, bro. How you been? What's been going on, man?
Good, man. Just going through the orbits. 2020, New Year's Day, pretty cool. It's been an interesting year for sure. Got to do a lot of writing and production and kind of work on my project and stuff like that. So just trying to get some inspiration, get some new writing, write new video ideas and stuff like that. So.
2020 was kind of absurd. The thing that like hit me the most about 2020 when we were talking was when you sent me that photo from Los Angeles of like all the empty streets and stuff. Remember when we were talking about that? Yeah.
Well, now it's like kind of, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Does it feel different to you now though that it's like 2021? Does it feel like a transition has happened?
I mean, I'm not really a Gregorianist. So to me, there's no real, like, I just note these things. I mean, there are things, equinoxes and stuff that I pay a little bit more attention to. And, the whole winter equinox and the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, that was definitely something, that one can feel. The arbitrary year 2021 is probably going to be even weirder and more fucked up.
Yeah,
it's life,
Yeah, dude. All the memes that I've been watching, like 2020 version 2, it's like what 2021 is going to be. But I don't know. To me, it feels different.
I mean, it's honestly, to me, it's the most amazing time ever to be alive ever. I mean, right now is all the moment you have. So what that it's fucked up in a lot of ways. It's also like, damn, you get to be alive. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. It could actually be the greatest thing in the world, and we could all really be liberated from all of the suffering and bondage that we're in as people, if we if we unite through this. And like, I feel like there's a lot of energies that are trying to divide people through this whole thing, and if people come together through this and realize, like, I mean, I think one thing is cool is, like, people kind of have to just do their own thing a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's kind of whack that everything is through computers now, but there's something that's kind of cool about it where, like, you kind of are forced to just be alone. It's like, damn, I was just alone on Christmas. I saw my parents for a couple hours, but it was like, you know what I mean? It's like we're all just like, oh, cool, I'm gonna watch The Wizard of Oz on New Year's Eve. That's fucking sick. Like,
Yeah, dude, you've got to do like a lot of self-reflection, a lot of like I don't know. I've been trying to start meditating ever since a lot of this happened. And that's honestly helped a lot because before I have like social anxiety. I don't go out a lot. And even at like my own concerts, I think I've like said this before, but I get really, I get a lot of anxiety just being around people and stuff, and I'm more of the guy at the back of the room that kind of just watches things happen instead. So this has kind of been like weird because then not talking to anybody, and then on top of that, you don't really have the option to. I'm kind of like, it feels almost like a little bit empowering to me because then I'm like, all right, I'm in my zone. I know what I need to do. And yeah, it's been really interesting, like shift of life. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, I totally relate to that, man. Yeah.
There's too many coincidences this year too. Like all the worst stuff of my life, I think that have happened to me. I think they happened this year. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why 2021 feels really different for me, because when I cross that threshold and like today, it just feels really clean. Like it feels really, I don't know, dude. I feel something different about this year. I don't know what it is.
Right. I think I feel it too, but I mean, I'm always one that's maybe I'm a little bit of a skepticalist, but yeah, I mean, who's to say? I mean, it's really, your life is for you to create, and I think that's the message of whatever's going down. It's like, you just got to do your thing.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this like, damn, January 1st, 2020, that feels good, like fresh. That's how you feel, right? Like, then live that life, be that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I just want to give the people a little bit of insight about you because a lot of people don't know this, but you are possibly one of the most gifted jazz pianists that I ever had the opportunity to take lessons from a little while ago.
Oh
And
man.
also one of the most in tune people with just being accepting towards other people, being super open and super nice. As well, you play guitar. I was watching your guitar videos and I was just kind of losing my mind a little bit as to like how good you play a lot of the what was the video I was watching on YouTube? I forget the song you were playing. It sounded like a folk song or something like that, but I'm forgetting the name of it. But you're like super well-rounded producer, and like your music is off the charts. It's amazing. And oh man, I've got it. The other thing I wanted to talk about today too, when you released Open Waters and Drowning, like I was going through some really deep dark times, and those two songs, I don't know why, I just kept playing them over and over. And
Mm.
for some reason it just like hit me at the right time, at the right spot, you know, like the stars aligning kind of thing. And like
Right.
came out at a really good time for me. And I absolutely love that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I'm glad it resonated with you, and thank you for all your kind words. I mean, that's it means a lot to be able to make music and have kids and people of all ages and from any place in the world. And even if they can't understand the music, the lyrics, they might be able to feel the beat or the chords or just the feeling of it, And I'm just so grateful and blessed to be able to be in a position where I can put out music and people listen to it, and care about it. And I don't really do it. That project is really just what I love to do. The Casey Mattson stuff. It's like me just trying to kind of push the direction of music forward and just really focus on what I love and like kind of curate all the sounds that I love while remaining true to myself and a message that's true and that can teach people to embrace themselves and love themselves. And I had a lot of great teachers and a lot of great role models along the way. And I'm just blessed to be able to share the music and that people kind of, it's like, damn, people care and that's cool. I like it. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel blessed. Honored.
Is it true you've been playing piano for like 20 years then?
Um, well, professionally, yeah, fourth grade, I think. Well, maybe not professionally for 20 years, but I think I played my first gig in like fifth grade, so it'll be damn near 20 years. Probably when the people are seeing this, it'll be 20 years.
Dude,
Gosh,
that's a crazy milestone. 20 years.
I didn't really think about it, honestly. I guess I'm just so old now that I just don't even think about
Whatever, you're not old. How old are you?
it. I just turned 30, man.
You just turned 30?
I guess. I mean, I think I'm like billions. I mean, we're all billions of years old. Like, it doesn't really like. I mean, yeah, of course you manifest in this body. But I remember when I used to play gigs when I was like 19 in Santa Cruz, and I would play at this bar, and I played with this guy who was a drummer. He's a Waldorf teacher,
Uh-huh.
and he's super into all this esoteric, hermetic mythology and shit like that. And I'd be trying to get in, and they'd be like, "Oh, you can't get in without an ID." And be like, "What the hell, man? We're all billions of years old anyway. We're all just stardust."
We're the same stardust, man.
Yeah, and so yeah, man, it's cool. I mean, I'm just blessed that fuck, man. I mean, I had just great influences. Like my cousins got me into music at a very young age. They have a band called Mattson too, and they've been touring forever, and they're just like incredible. Some of the greatest. My favorite live group, to go see, and just the way they've evolved their show throughout times, and the different people they worked with, and they really got me into punk rock, metal, rock shit, like at a super young
Oh,
age.
really?
They're like,
Wait,
yeah,
who do you listen to that's punk rock?
what do you mean?
Who do you listen like? Who do you like that's punk rock and metal? I didn't know you were into this. This is new.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I don't listen to. I mean, I go through like maybe like I'll listen to it now a lot of stuff. I just went through phases growing up. Really, junior high was my most classic punk rock phase. I was mostly into 80s hardcore West Coast stuff, Bad Brains, Black Flag kind of things, Minor Threat, anything that was fast and just ghetto and just. And I also got into from that I got into like more of the like folk punk shit that was happening when I was like a freshman in high school. I was into like Defiance, Ohio, and fucking against me, and I joined this band called Little Ghost Things. It was and I it was like a youth group I went to, and there was some kids from the other high school across town.
Uh-huh.
They're like theater kids, intellectuals, but they took me into their group, and they wrote the craziest shit. And it was called Little Ghost Things. And then I met like my first girlfriend. She was the drummer in the band. She's incredible. She's a fantastic drummer, fantastic artist. And I met Liliane Capolina, in case anybody needs a tattoo, is Anchors. She gave me my first tattoo, but
Oh, for real?
yeah, and I'm trying to get some more actually, probably.
Hey, what's your first tattoo?
Just a diamond, but from 2008 or something, or 6 or 7, I don't know. But anyways, I'm losing my train of thought. What were we talking about? Yeah, punk and metal.
You got
Yeah, so I joined that band, and then I joined hardcore punk in junior high, and then like when I was a freshman, I was into like folk punk, and then I joined that band, Little Ghost Things, and I also joined a band called Blackbird Rom, which is like this like nihilist jug band, and like crusty jug band, and they were all like in their 20s, and they're like, "Yo, you want to like drop out of high school, and, like squat with us in the woods and come ride freight trains with us and shit." Fucking destroy the society. Fuck that. You know, it was just like cool punk. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna be a fucking dropout gypsy bum. Because I didn't even like I was over school, like I hated it. Like
yeah.
I was smart as a kid and I liked it, but then I became an anarchist when I was 13 and a punk rocker, and then I was just like, what is the point of me doing this if I'm just gonna have this like this job? Like I was completely disillusioned by society at the age of 13. And so I was like, fuck this shit. And then like basically by the age of 15, I was like, I feel like I pretty much just want to like live out in the woods, like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was convinced that society was going to collapse. Like I kind of thought that the 2008 crash that happened was going to be like, like, yeah, I thought it was going to be like, yeah, it's not just a recession. Actually, we're all like shooting each other for cans of spam, and there's like a war between the state. Like, I kind of believed it was like,
really?
so I was kind of like, just like, why should I even go to fucking high school type shit? You know what I mean? And I just liked music so much that I was like, but I didn't like jazz. I was just a punk rocker, so I was just like, school was no thing for me. So I dropped out, and I got I basically just got my CHESP, which is like a GED for minors. Easy as fuck to do.
Really?
Easy as fuck to do. But yeah, so I joined that band Blackbird Rom, and I just toured with them until I was like 18, and then I was kind of like, I'm over this shit. Like, we're not really writing any new music. Like, it just kind of lost the luster for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing the fucking washboard and screaming. It was fun. Like, honestly, it was great. Like, I kind of like, I watched the videos and it was nostalgic, but like, I just needed to move on, and I got into playing drums. And so it was kind of when I moved more from like punk and metal. We also, some of the guys from that band, we had a black metal band called Skraeling. The name taken from the Golden Compass.
Oh, really?
Skraeling, I think, was a name for like someone who was like immigrating somewhere. Like, it was like a slang term for like an immigrant or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But it was a acoustic black metal band. So there was two guitars. It was acoustic. So it was
acoustic black metal.
Yeah, there was a Telecaster. I think it was like two Telecaster. It was just two weird guitars. It was the guys from Blackbird Rom and some other dudes too.
Uh-huh.
So there was two Telecasters with practice amps. A guy that played the drums, but it was like cardboard boxes and like cymbals, and like he had like sticks from like the forest.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. And then like I played accordion. Like, I actually played like just a straight like accordion, like a piano accordion. And then there was a guy that did vocals, and he just didn't even have a microphone. He just had like this big ass. He was like a poet. He was like a college kid poet, super soft spoken. Like, yes, he would read poetry. Bit. The whisper touch.
Trying to be all deep and insightful.
I would just have like my fucking books in my room from high school. Like, we practiced at my parents' house in my bedroom, and we take out the Nietzsche book, the Spectre Sustra, and just But we did some shows like out in the woods. We got like generators up at like out past UCSC and shit. And we like I think we did a show with I think first it was this band called Fauna.
Uh-huh.
They're from Olympia. It's like a crazy yeah. And then Wolves in the Throne Room. Have you ever heard of Wolves in the Throne Room?
No, uh-uh.
They were kind of hot in like 2004 or 5. I think they're still maybe they're still a thing, but anyways, yeah, that was tight. We did some woods shows, generator, hippie black metal.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
It
How's
was
that work? Did you just have like underground gatherings of people going out to the concerts then? Is that kind of what it was like, or?
yeah. Well, the Blackbird Drum stuff is like the main stuff. That was more like a side project, the other thing. But
That's
we,
so
I
cool.
mean, our primary thing was like we would just busk, and then we could like play on the street, and we could
Uh-huh.
like make $500 in an hour, and there's 5 of us, so it's like for some kid that just playing washboard to make $100 an hour, that was pretty tight. And then we could just tour around and didn't really have to pay for anything. I kind of got like some money from it. Like I was able to be like a successful bum, like a high school dropout bum. But it was like, by the time I'm 18, I'm like, we're going around in this van. Like we literally drove around in like a 5-seat Toyota Tacoma. And I was just resentful of all the guys. I still like, I fuck with I like talk to Caspian all the time. He's a cool dude. I'm going to help him with some music, and Mars is great. And David's amazing. And, it's all cool now. I just, I needed something else, so I moved on to. I was like, then I like took all those black metal. Like we had the drum set, the ghetto ass cardboard box drum set in my room and shit. And so I was like, just watching YouTube. This was like early 2009. I was like watching YouTube videos, and I was like seeing like Elvin Jones and the jazz, and I was like, damn, fuck this washboard shit. I'm gonna take this to the drums, and I just started playing like all this. I literally just sat down when I was like 18 for a year or like 9 months or something like that, like however long it takes to like have a baby. And I just like played drums, and it was like really bad. Like it was good, but it was not like anything that anybody would like write home. It was just like cool, but like I'm not like a great drummer in a sense, like practiced, but to actually just sit down and focus on rhythm for like 9 months, like I was like, oh whoa. I approached piano because I didn't really even like I played piano when I was a kid, but I like when I was 13 and I was a punk rocker, I was like over it. Like I didn't play in high school or anything like that. So
Oh yeah.
like when I went after I played drums for like 9 months, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll fuck with piano. I was like, oh, this is so easy now. Like, cause I know the rhythm, and piano is basically just rhythm with notes.
Yeah. And now you're super into jazz, super into the classical side too. I see a lot of the videos that you post on like your Instagram story about some of the opera guys that you listen to. I don't listen to a whole lot of opera, so I don't know any names.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
opera for sure. Yeah, Pavarotti. I did a gig in Vegas actually as a Pavarotti impersonator recently. That's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Oh, okay. Wedding gigs, it's just hit or miss. It was cool. They just, like it's just weird, that whole world where they send you some YouTube links and you're like, play this wedding song.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to move away from that. I just, my heart sometimes, because I always get calls from these people and, hey, I need this and this. And, I'm like, damn, I guess I could use this. And,
Yeah.
at this point,
Sometimes the money speaks a little bit louder.
yeah, at this point, I don't do anything unless I'm like, feel satisfied with the pay. So it's just like,
Yeah.
but at this point, I'm like not really trying to just do that and just do shit for money that I don't fuck with. That's why I'm stoked on it. But yeah, so that was kind of like, I was like, maybe this is the final call. Of course, you're always going to do some shitty gig or what's, you're never going to be completely satisfied with everything you do. But I was like, okay, I think this is the last. I'm gonna put this in there. I'm not going to do these like wedding gigs anymore unless I'm really getting like, $250,000 or something. You know what I mean?
Something big. Yeah, of course, dude. Yo, I just have to ask really quickly then. How do you go from like playing in the woods and Casey Mattson like kind of on the run, like a Alexander Supertramp kind of life, to all of a sudden now, because you have like a lot of personalities online. Like you're really good at creating a persona and then going out there and being like crazy and like putting up posts and stuff like that, creating appealing images to like doing Little Ricky and stuff like that. Like how does that transition happen with Casey?
I mean, you want to go about the Ricky stuff, or do you want to go into the Casey stuff?
That's a good question. Uh,
I mean, I
yeah.
could,
How do you get from the Woods to Ricky? Because you kind of had all these personas in the middle too.
because Ricky was. I mean, Ricky is from the woods, but I don't. Maybe I'll keep Ricky out of it because Ricky's
Okay.
actually before all this. Ricky starts in 2004, like as like a graffiti campaign. But I can't.
Oh,
Yeah, but basically, from the jazz drumming, I was going to Cabrillo College in Santa Cruz where I studied with this dude Ray Brown, not the bass player Ray Brown, but the trumpet player Ray Brown, who is a solfeggio master. Excuse me. So he's the kind of guy that do re mi fa sol la ti do, right? So he could do bebop line, re mi fa he saw me, they would sound like that, like you'd be like, what the hell is he saying? Like, what the hell? Like it was like crazy.
you
But
doing
like,
magic, man? What's going on?
he's like a wizard, bro. And like, yeah, so like I literally just like picked his brain every day. I'd go to his class and like, I would bring like I'd go to his office and I'd like kind of like peek in the window and I'm like, what is he doing? And he's just like sitting there and he's just like listening to an album. He's like, yeah. I like change the song. It's like, damn, like who does that? Who's just like in their office hours, just like eating a peanut butter sandwich, just listening to music, just like, fuck, man. I mean, that used to be normal, but now in our world, like he had a computer in his office that never had the wrapping off. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, really?
he was like a G, like, and he really like he believed in me in a way. Like he gave me like scholarships and stuff like that. Like I got a Rotary Club scholarship, and I got the what's called the Smith Dobson Memorial Scholarship, which is in honor of this dude Smith Dobson, who is this legendary piano player in Santa Cruz, who played piano for Ray and other people, and he could have been the greatest. You know, he never really went to New York and really, did it. He was so Cali, and he was like just the sweetest guy. I never got to know him, but I know his son and I know his wife, and
Sort of
uh,
an enigma type of guy, huh?
he was just probably one of the sweetest people that has ever lived, and an incredible pianist. So it was
Dude,
an honor. It
let
was an
me
honor.
tell you, those guys, they like change how you view music too. They change how you're able to build it. When I learned scat, for instance, my buddy was teaching me scat. He's like, because I was having trouble coming up with lyrics. And he's like, no, okay, do this. And he just started making noises into the microphone. He's like, da da, I was like, it was just nonsense. But he's going with the beat, he's creating a melody and stuff. And then when I started realizing the process he was going through with the song, I was like, oh, this guy is actually secretly really smart. Like, this is crazy. And like, at first, you're a little hesitant to try it. You're like, this is too weird. This is too out there. But, when you start getting into it, you start realizing that like your brain is, I don't know, it's getting something from all that mush. It's slowly like refining that and then turning it into words, thoughts, like melodies, all these different patterns that you start putting in the music. But that was something that I thought was really interesting because you embrace all these different methods. And I was like, when we first started talking, I was kind of like, man, this is really the opposite of my world right now. Like this is completely different. But all those methods like that you taught me and things that we've talked about, like I even see it coming into fruition when I'm watching other people make music, or I've been getting into Bobby Raps, who help produces for The Weeknd and stuff like that, and
Cool.
seeing the stuff that he does, and he has some interesting ideas and approaches. Like it's just, I don't know, it's mind bending. And I think a lot of people need to open their minds and get into those enigmas, get into those people that are just completely embracing things that you don't completely understand, that are acting completely out there because they know things about music and they see it in such a different world that
Yeah.
it'll allow you to like create, you know what I mean? On a whole
Yeah.
nother level, like add to your tool belt kind of thing.
Totally. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I was talking about this to my friend about MF Doom, who just did
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah.
sad. And like,
Doom.
talk about a dude who was like ahead of his time and was like a G, and like conceptually with all the stuff that he was doing and the flows and like the way I can't even come. I have to like
Yeah.
sit myself down because it's like the way he does the cadences and the flows is like crazy, and just how much shit he was on. And like we were talking about it because there's so many things that's like, damn, he's like doing all these different characters and talking about like, oh, he was talking about them as if they had like beef with each other and just had so many revolutionary ideas. And it was like, wow, like that is such a great idea that like has not even been you know fully realized, and that's like a fire, that he left for us. And and anybody who's passed along, like any of these great artists, Prince, or any of the greats, I'm spacing
Yeah.
out all the
No,
millions
that's
of people who died.
somebody, yeah, all
Then
those guys, a
you have
lot
a
of people don't
fire
appreciate
that,
after death.
right, that's how you live on, is that like that you can take that fire and build it in, and it's never really going to be stealing, like, because it's going to be transferred through your brain. So like, it's really just take whatever you like, make it, put it through the filter of you, because it's going to change. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I've literally like spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing like patterns on the piano, sol la ti do sol si fa la mi me sol fa mi re, like shit like that. Oh, in every key. Oh, let me do some Charlie Parker solo in every key. Sol do re mi fa fi sol de middle de ba de. Oh, up a half step. Copying a whole solo. I can do it in every key. I can do like 3 Charlie Parker solos in every key, but I'm not going to play that when I play, but that's going to come out in a way. But, I'm living like 100 years after him. So I'm not just trying to do his shit, but I'm trying to like take that as a base, because then it's not just like, hey, I'm just this crazy guy saying whatever. And like, is this guy just having a mental breakdown and like posting about it? But it's like you have a tradition and it's grounded in something. And then it's like, oh, well, the balloon is not just, it's not just a bunch of air. We're getting capturing it with this,
Yeah.
film, and we can kind of frame that air, and we can kind of go up and away. And it's like, and then not only is just a balloon, but it's also a gondola, and you're sitting in the gondola, and so it's not just a guy who's falling from the sky and he's about to die. It's like, you could actually exist within this balloon. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to meditate on that one because I didn't quite understand the entirety of the floating up and being in the gondola.
What are we talking about? Why would
Music transitioning. What were we talking about? A gondola, like going up and using different techniques and holding in air.
Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
That's like,
Right?
Casey, I think you're too smart for your own good. I'm gonna be honest. I really do. I think that, and I'm excited for when this interview comes out and people to see and be like, blown away by how smart you are, because you just have, man. And I'm stoked to get into. I'm kind of gonna cut this short now because I know that you want to rest your voice and
Yeah.
like take it
Well, we'll
easy.
do another one. We can do another. Let's do it part.
Sweet. Yeah, I want to get into like the Little Ricky and the different personalities and stuff of Casey Mattson and really dive into to your like creative process. Maybe not like opening and revealing it too much, because that's a Pandora's box that I like to keep
The
closed.
Ricky stuff is complicated because there's some I legal issues with that, so I can't. I mean, there's a few things
Oh, okay.
I've closed within Pain, but we can talk about Casey. Let's talk about more of the Casey
Sure.
Mattson world. The Ricky world, I can't, like. There's some legal stuff going down between that. That
Okay, yeah. We'll keep it
maybe
off.
next year we'll be able to talk about it. It's just a little tight right now. So.
All right. Yeah. I'll make sure that I'll even cut that out too so that they don't. Yeah.
Oh no, you keep it. It's fine. It's
It'll be
fine.
fine.
If people know about it, I just can't really give any more information. So it's just kind of like, all right, it's like
Okay. So you
you're
can't
just
feel it back
or
yet.
whatever.
Okay. I'm sorry, dude. That's freaking crazy.
I mean, I was speaking a lot of facts. I just had to like kind of wipe the internet of a lot of that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. But yeah, it's just, I'm kind of like, hold harmless with a lot of that stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that I want to
it's
open
cool.
up.
I'm not even tripping on it. Like I can't, it's just like, it's cool. We've resolved our shit with it. I'm not even
Good.
tripping on it anymore. We had a weird thing. It's all good. It was really just a misunderstanding. It's like I was kind of being a bitch about it, and I'm kind of like, whatever. But you have to stand up for yourself, and it's like, it's not even like it's just like shit just falls through the cracks. You know how shit is nowadays with just like bureaucracies and organizations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
All that red
all
tape.
love, and I'd rather just like focus on the Casey Mattson project. I'm just, it's like that's really my primary focus, as far as like artist development and stuff goes.
Yeah, there's a lot to dive in there too. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to hear more about the story too. And Casey Mattson, the wonderful producer that, yeah, just has
Yeah.
there's a lot of depth to your character, and you're really solid in trusting in like your gut and stuff like that. And I think you have a lot of, it'd be cool to see what advice that you have to give for like other musicians and producers as well. So I'm
Yeah, we could.
stoked to
You
ask
want to
you.
like wrap with that or something like that for just this part one or something? Like
Say that again.
we could just like wrap up with that or something
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely.
Do you have any like specific questions or just like an open-ended thing or?
So, yeah, to kind of end, I would say, what's something that you could drop on, say, the Oliver Tree community that would, or even the people who are, because the Casey Mattson fans out there that are hardcore fans of Casey Mattson that I feel like exist out there, what would you tell them? What's something that you could drop through this interview that you would want to, I don't know, like share with them?
Yeah. Well, because it's really, I mean, you don't know what it like. If somebody told me when I was 10 years old, like that when that first gig or whatever, like I was playing for my aunt's wedding, playing piano with my friend Joel Brown. Um, somebody said like, "Yo, keep doing this because by the time you're 30, you'll be like a platinum producer, songwriter, or whatever." I might have be dead by now. So it's like you never really know. Like I might have been like, oh cool, I'm gonna do music, and I got a laptop, and I started doing drugs, and I OD'd at 16. Well, it's like fuck, man. You can't really like say, and it's like shit. I might not. I might like figure out what I really love to do tomorrow and never make another song again. But I know I probably won't because I love it. But
Okay.
you know what I mean. So just find out what you want to do, what you love, like because it's crazy, it's weird, and it's always like this like double what do you call it, like a double-sided box or whatever, you know what I mean, like I spent so much time like in my 20s, like after when I started playing the drums, and I studied with Ray, and then I was like working in a lawnmower shop, and I was like trying to get the thing done, but then I was like fuck man, this isn't happening. I just spent I had to go back to the drawing board, go back to square one.
Yeah.
Just go back. Oh, you think you're good? Oh, now you move to the new town, and then you realize you're not shit, right? Oh, you're cool in Santa Cruz. You try to go to Oakland and play gigs. Oh, yeah, you suck, bro. Like, go back to square one.
Oh man. So it's like a lot of setbacks, a lot of things putting you to the ground.
There's no such thing as a failure, though. Like, literally, like, you will die. I'm gonna die. You're gonna die. We're all gonna die. Maybe like they'll figure out some kind of invincibility machine, but that probably is not like a chill idea, really, like to do that. Because the truth is that you will live forever through your spirit will live forever. Like people who say like, oh, you just die and that's it. Like, I don't really buy that. I think that we're all eternal. We're all part of this spirit and this consciousness, and you came into this body for a reason to do the thing that is you, right? And whatever that is, if it's like getting a fucking BMX and putting like fucking a gallon of nacho cheese on one side and a gallon of salsa on the other side, and just fucking riding your BMX bike around town and just being like, what's up, fucking nacho cheese truck? Come like say what's up, and then like you basically like get a fucking trailer, and then you start like this whole revolution, and this is fucking nacho gang feeding the hungry, feeding people, you know what I'm saying, taking the waste from the rich people, and like like Robin Hood shit, you know what I mean, like that. I might just start doing that tomorrow because fuck it, like who knows, right? That could be the thing that like brings us all together. So it really like it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter how many people tell you you suck at it. Sometimes it's going to take a long time. Like it took me forever to like actually come to a point where I'm like, oh wow, I feel like I could just make music and do what I want to do, and I don't have to like worry about who am I, and it takes a long time, and it's hard, but it takes the going for it and crossing the ledge, because it's like those like quote unquote failures, those things where it's like, oh, I go to the gig and I sound horrible, I'm embarrassed, I was like, I want to go home and cry, and I do go home and cry, and it's like, damn, dude, I gotta like, and you came back again next week, you know what I mean? Like that's, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Like, it's like people will try to smash you down, and that's because they should, bro. Because it's like not they should, but you know what I mean? It's not like whiplash.
It's the way of the world. It's the way the refinery works,
yeah,
right?
that's the thing. Like Dorothy finds out very quickly on in the first reel in The Wizard of Oz that all these characters, all these adults are going to let her down, and they're like, she kind of has to be an adult and realize that like everybody else is like, you can't rely on these other people, right? And like the
Yeah.
kingdom of God is within your heart, you know.
And she ends up helping finding all the other people like along the way, the things that were missing from their lives forever, you know, that they've just been waiting to get. That's super. Have you ever read Charles Bukowski?
A little bit. I think I had like some of his poems. Like I was like, staying in a house when I was 17 in Washington, and there was a bunch of his poems in the bathroom. Something about like I can't remember though, really.
I
Not
just
not
got into them. I'm about to read Ham on Rye, and then I think Woman is the other book that I want to read. But he has this quote, and it says that he kept throughout his life, right? Because he's the world's like most unremarkable man for people that don't know who he is. He's kind of like this really insignificant, like low life. He was a really ugly person. Like the way he describes his life and the way other people look at it, they really take it as like he's this really beautiful tragedy that like happened in the world. But his poetry and the way that he wrote was just super, you know, on point, was really good. And he didn't see success in his life until really later on. But anyways, he posted this quote and he's like, you know, I waited throughout all of my years for something amazing to happen, only to look back and realize the only amazing things happened when I made them happen. And I was just, I thought that was, you know, that was incredible. It goes right along with what you're saying. Like you're going to go throughout your life and you're like, I just need this opportunity. I just need this opportunity. I just talked to Daddy about this on my last interview too. I was like, well, everybody wants this opportunity to do something big. They want this opportunity to like come and, you know, they want to be with like this famous person, this famous venue and this fame, like all this stuff, the money, whatever it is. But they don't realize that like what's even worse than never getting that opportunity is getting that opportunity and not being ready for it. Like, you know, that's the worst.
Yeah, like ready or just not really embracing the moment of being like,
yeah, not able to appreciate it, not able to like, yeah, because if you haven't put in the work and you're in it, you're like, you feel lost and empty, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, I'm gonna we can keep going. So I'm gonna conclude it. So I don't take up any more of your time, my brother. But I appreciate it so much. I'm really stoked. I'm gonna shout out your. Do you have anything? I want to do the Sean Evans thing. What do you got going on? Anything you want to shout out right now?
Oh yeah, Peen Pain's out now. Peen Pain Deluxe is out now. There's a bunch of videos, and I'm just gonna be dropping more music. So just stay tuned. Just keep. I'm gonna. Oh, I do have a. You're gonna like this, actually. Baby Jobim. So it's gonna be like, it's my project that's like Brazilian electronic.
Oh, Baby Jobim.
Like all Antonio Carlos Jobim songs.
Hold on, I'm gonna write this down. How do you spell it?
It's not out yet, but it's BABY JOBIM. It's in the works. It should be out early next year.
Você está praticando seu português?
No obrigado mucho. I did go to Portugal. I had a fucking awesome time in Porto last year. But yeah, I got to work on it, man. Have you seen the movie Black Orpheus?
No, huh?
Oh, you have to see it, bro.
Oh, hold on, let me write it down. How do you spell it? Black Orpheus?
Yeah, like Orpheus and Eurydice from the Greek mythology. It's the story of Orpheus and Eurydice in Brazil in the 1960s. It's really good.
Have you seen City of Angels?
Is that the one from like the early 2000s? No, City of God. I don't know if I've seen City of Angels.
It's about Brazil and their police force, and they go into favelas and they have to deal with like drug lords and stuff. But anyways, it's about the cops. No. What's that?
Crazy. I love Brazil. I want to go so bad.
Yeah, dude. Maybe we'll have to talk about going together. Dude. I speak Portuguese. My roommate's Brazilian, and he's inviting me to go out there and. Okay. We'll have to figure something out, dude. But
well, yeah, I know. Who knows when we can actually go travel around? But
oh yeah, true.
Let's go.
South America is always open. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna move.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the big.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Maybe Mexico. I think.
I'm getting into real estate in Mexico.
Oh, sick, dude. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yucatan. Well, I'm going to be, I think, selling some real estate, helping these people sell some real estate in Mexico and Yucatan Peninsula, bro. You should look into that.
Down, bro. I'm down to get some fish, bro. Pescados.
Yeah, dude. Then the best tacos you've ever had in your life, right?
I'm down
Dude,
for
doesn't
that.
that sound good right now? I really want to be in Mexico right now. I had my buddy called me up the other day. He's like traveling around in a pop-up camper in his truck, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to just disappear for a week? We're gonna go down to Mexico." And I was like, "Oh man, I really want to. I have all these other things to do, but I really want to." He's like, "There's really good tacos. We'll go down to Oaxaca, buddy." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
man. Yeah, man. I'm down.
hey,
Sounds
dude."
good, brother. All right. Well,
Anyways,
hey, let's do a part two coming up soon.
hell yeah, brother. Thank you so much again for talking to me, Casey. It's
Yeah,
always
of
a
course, man.
pleasure.
Yeah, yeah, my pleasure. Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah,
Much
dude.
obliged. Hey, brother.
What's that?
Catch you later, man.
Yeah, have a good day. Talk to you later.
Peace out.
Bye. Happy New Year, guys, and thank you so much for watching another interview. Special thank you to Casey Mattson for coming on and being interviewed. You can find all of his socials and links down in the description below. Also, we are hosting a special competition right now for artists and musicians to be able to win $100, whether you just play the guitar, the drums, or you just want to sing or you rap. We have a category for everybody. Go ahead and check out our Instagram for that, which will also be in the description. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the video. And thank you again so much for watching and supporting the channel.